Was I born into the wrong life? Have you ever looked at someone else's life and thought, why wasn't I born into that family? Why wasn't I born there? Why am I here? You watch television and you see people traveling around the world. Beautiful houses. Beautiful cities. People eating in expensive restaurants and living lives that look completely different from yours. And for a moment, you start wondering, did I get the wrong life? Was I born into the wrong family? Am I a mistake? Am I just doomed to struggle? These thoughts can get really dark if you keep feeding them. And they don't only affect adults. Teenagers think about this too. Sometimes a teenager looks at their parents and thinks, I wish I had different parents. And sometimes, as they grow older, that feeling changes. They start understanding their family differently. They appreciate things they couldn't see when they were younger. But there are also people who genuinely grow up in abusive homes. And if you're being hurt, neglected, or abused, wanting to get away isn't you being ungrateful. It's your mind telling you that you deserve safety. But then there's another question. Why them? You see children going hungry. You see families living through war. You see people being born into poverty. And you wonder, why did they get that life? Why didn't I get a better one? And sometimes that question becomes personal. Why me? Why am I struggling? Why does everyone else seem to be moving forward? And here's the problem. We start comparing our entire life to somebody else's highlights. We see the holiday. We don't see the debt. We see the house. We don't see what happens behind the front door. We see the success. We don't see the years of failure that came before it. And we definitely don't see everything that person might be struggling with privately. But even knowing that doesn't completely stop the feeling. Because sometimes you're not jealous of someone's car. You're jealous of the life you imagined you could have had. And that's a much deeper pain. So what do you do with it? First, don't punish yourself for having the thought. You can look at someone else's life and wish yours was different. That doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you human. But don't let that thought become your identity. I wish my life was different is a feeling. There's something wrong with me is a conclusion. Those aren't the same thing. You didn't choose where you were born. You didn't choose your parents. You didn't choose your starting point. But your starting point isn't necessarily your final destination. And maybe that's what we forget. We're so busy looking at the lives we don't have that we stop noticing the life that's still being built. So if you're sitting somewhere right now thinking, I was born into the wrong life, take a breath. Maybe your life isn't where you want it to be. Maybe your family isn't what you wished for. Maybe you've been dealt a hand that feels incredibly unfair. You don't have to pretend that's okay. But don't turn a painful chapter into a prediction about your entire future. You're not a mistake because your life is difficult. You're not doomed because someone else seems to be ahead. And you're not behind simply because your journey looks different. Sometimes the question isn't, why wasn't I given their life? Maybe the better question is, what can I do with the life I was given? You may not be able to change where your story started, but you can still influence where it goes next.